Hey Amy, just explaining that problem to you real quick. So looking at that one, so I'm going to go ahead and write that down. It was W, oh wait, actually let me give myself a little bit more room. Okay, so it was W plus 3 over 4W and plus 1. And then it said equal to W minus 5 over W, and I think that was it. Yeah. Okay, so what has to happen is between the two denominators down here at the bottom, so 4W down here and then W, the common denominator between the two of them would be 4W because W by itself is included in that. So what that would do is what we would have to do then is we would multiply both sides by 4W. By doing it to both sides, again, that keeps it equal. Because whatever we do to one side, we do the same thing to the other. Now, when we distribute that, we'll have to, over here on the left, we have to distribute that 4W to both of these parts. So over there on the, so writing that out separately, so the first part, 4W times W plus 3 over 4W. So that by itself, that's a W, allows us to cancel out the 4W's since they are the same, meaning that right there at that first part of the distribution would just leave us with just W plus 3. Whereas then the second part of that would be to multiply 4W by the 1, and 4W times 1 would then be 4W. So I'm going to add down here to the bottom that would just be plus 4W. Then over on the other side, we're going to do something very similar. We need to distribute the 4W. Now there's only one part to this equation. It's just 4W times that whole part right there. But that allows us to cancel out the W by itself. So that's the W and then this W, but the 4 remains. So really what's left is actually the 4 is the only thing that would get distributed. It would just be 4 times W, and I'll write that down here in green where I have the continuation of the problem here. So 4 times W would be 4W, and then 4 times negative 5 would be negative 20. So I'll write that as minus 20. So that's what we're left with down here at the bottom. So, and just continuing that, I'm going to go ahead and just write what I'm left with then. What do I have? Oh, I see. Sorry, I was looking at my problem I have on paper, and I was trying to think, wait a minute, I didn't get the same thing. I did. Okay, so let me erase all this and get it out of the way. And so I'm going to move what I have down there at the bottom to the top. So I was left with W plus 3 plus 4W is equal to 4W minus 20. Okay, so what we have to do now is we're going to combine like terms, and really only on the left is where I have some like terms to combine, and that would be the W and the 4W. So putting that together would be 5W, so I was left with 5W plus 3, and then on the other side just kind of the same thing. So now it gets to where we need to move our variable to one side of the equation. So I'm going to go ahead and just subtract the 4W from this side so that it cancels out, but do the same thing over there on the left. 5W minus 4W would leave us with just 1W, so there's just W by itself. So now I have W plus 3 is equal to negative 20. Then to completely solve that, I'm going to go ahead and I want to get W by itself, so I'm going to subtract 3 from the left side there, do the same thing to the other side, and negative 20 minus 3, same thing as negative 20 plus negative 3 would be negative 23. So I'm left with W is equal to negative 23. All right, so I hope that helps you on that one. If you have any questions, let me know.